for consideration that much advantage will be felt when men in large numbers conceive of the purpose of specific manifestations, when they realize that all forms are but the modes of expression of certain entities or beings, who occupy them for cycles of definite duration in order to attain a purpose. And that each life, great or small, serves its own ends, yet subserves the greater ends of the being in whose body it is a corporate part. The details of the plan may not be given. The general outline, solar, planetary, and hierarchical, may be suggested, and by the very suggestion, bring order into the thoughts of men as they view the apparent chaos of the moment. Let us not forget that when order is brought about, and united thought produced on the mental plane, then order transpires eventually on the physical plane. The planetary logos of this scheme is one of the four minor logoi, or lords of the rays, and is specially concerned therefore with the development of one attribute of menace. Each of the four minor rays is, as we know, eventually synthesized, or absorbed into that ray which is represented on our earth by the Mahakoan. He is the lord of the third major ray or aspect, and synthesizes the four. These four rays with their synthesizing ray make the 5 rays of menace, or mind. We can consider them as A. The 5-fold Brahma aspect. B. They were the 5 rays of prime importance in the first solar system, and were the 5 individualized heavenly men, called the mind-born sons of Brahma. Through the individualization of the 4 in that system, the individualization of the great cosmic entity we call Brahma was brought about. He individualized, and the 4 go to the content of his body. See, they are represented on our earth by the 5 Kumaras who obeyed the law, and took human form, as HPB 13533 hints in several passages in the Secret Doctrine. This scheme is considered as the 4th and the one of the most importance in the system during this particular cycle for the following reasons. Our solar system, being considered as of the 4th order, and our scheme, being the 4th in order, there is consequently a moment of special opportunity afforded our planetary logos through the alignment brought about. It eventuates in the turning of the attention of the logoic Kundalini fire towards this center, our scheme, and the subsequent results are in process of working out. Within the scheme, the chain that concerns us the most, and which is temporarily of the most vital importance to the planetary logos, is the Earth chain, the 4th in order again, thus bringing about another alignment of very grave moment. This carries with it special opportunity, and permits of the entry of force from the cosmos itself, or of extra-systemic electrical vitality. This superstimulation results in what looks to us like cataclysms, and a stupendous shattering of forms, but it is simply the necessary sequence to the vitalization of the life within the form, and the breaking of the limiting form unable to bear the cosmic action. Again, within the chain, the globe at present receiving planetary polarization, or at present embodying in a special sense the life of the planetary logos, is the Earth, the 4th in order. This brings about a still further alignment. Add to the above facts the accepted knowledge that this is the 4th round, and we have a 5-fold alignment which is of paramount significance to us all, though it had even greater significance and force in the 4th root race, and brought about that stupendous psychic event, the opening of the door of initiation to the human hierarchy. These very important facts merit close attention, and the consideration of all occult students. They hold the key whereby some comprehension of menace, and of planetary evolution may come about. What have we, therefore, in this special cyclic alignment? 1. A solar system of the 4th order. 2. The 4th scheme in the system. 3. The 4th chain in the scheme. 4. The 4th globe in the chain. 5. The 4th round. 13,634. Compare also the following correspondences. The sacred Treatise, the manifested logos. The fourth creative hierarchy, the human. The fourth principle, lower mind. The fourth race, Canominus. The fourth element, water, SD, I, 95. I, 640. The four truths, S, D, I, 70. The four propositions, S, D, I, 107. The four initiations, S, D, I, 227. The fourth plane, Buddhi, fourth cosmic ether. The fourth physical subplane, the fourth ether. The fourth round, the present. 34. All these are found active within the same cycle, and all therefore bring about a simultaneous alignment which results in the clearing of the channel direct from the heart of our scheme through every ring pass not to the cosmic correspondence, found outside the solar sphere. To the above realization, we must add yet the further fact that the fourth creative hierarchy is the one whose evolution we are considering, and it will be apparent to the most superficial student that in these thoughts lies hidden the clue, not only to man but to the entire cyclic evolution in which he is taking part. The fourth creative hierarchy is essentially the hierarchy of Minas. This is no play on words, but a statement of deep occult significance. The statement has been made with entire accuracy, that 5 hierarchies out of the 12 have passed out and that 7 remain. Of these 7, our human hierarchy is the 4th, making it literally the 9th when counting the entire 12. In this connection it would be well to link up the statements that have been made to the effect that the 5 Kumaras or heavenly men who definitely embody the Manasic principle, or the 5 rays over which the systemic correspondence to the Mahakoan presides, developed Manas in an earlier system. They pass out of the wave of Manasic influence as far as their own nature is concerned. We must remember also that 9 is the number of initiation, or of the major initiations of Manas, wherein man becomes a perfect 9, or literally is the number of his hierarchy. This is from the standpoint of the 3 systems, though his present systemic number may be 4. In occupying ourselves with these various statements anent our scheme and its ruler, we have seen that this particular cycle, or incarnation of his, is one of great importance, not only to himself but to the entire system. The planetary logos of this scheme is primarily occupied with the particular group of units, or with those monads who vibrate to his key, are colored by the same color as himself, answer to the same number, and are esoterically known by the same name. One point here needs emphasis. All monads pass at different times under the influence of the different planetary logoi, and all are found at some time in each scheme. This does not mean that every human unit passes a period of incarnation in each scheme. It means that on some one globe in every scheme, human units will be found either prior to physical incarnation, between different egoic cycles, a totally different thing to periods between physical lives, between different rounds, or manvantaras, or between the various root races and subraces. As stated in various occult books, many of the present advanced humanity individualized on the moon chain, and only took physical bodies in the earth chain during the 4th root race, thus escaping incarnation during the first 3 rounds, and the first 2 races of the 4th round. In the interim, they came under the planetary influence of another logos of a scheme, and were occupied during that immense period of time in fanning the Manasic flame, and developing the attributes of Manas, so that the Atlantean root race found them adequately equipped to cope with life conditions. This participation in the life and influence of the different schemes is effected in 4 different ways. First, through passing the interim between egoic cycles of physical incarnation on the particular globe of their scheme, which numerically coincides with the particular other scheme whose influence is desired, either from deliberate choice, or karmically necessitated. Each globe in the chain is occultly linked with the chain of its own number, and with the scheme of a similar number. For instance, Globe 2, Chain 2, and Steam 2 during Round 2 are specially linked and vitalized, and are the focal point of peculiar attention on the part of the logos of that scheme. Similarly, again in illustration, Globe 2, Chain 2 during Round 2 in any scheme such as the fifth, for instance, are aligned or connected esoterically with the second scheme. This gives opportunity for the units in the body of any logos to come under the influence of another logos, and within his vibratory radiation. Second, through a direct transference of the units in incarnation in any scheme, during an interlude, to some globe in another scheme where they are subjected to the stimulation and vibration peculiar to that scheme. These two methods are the most usual. This transference will seem mysteriously impossible, unless the student is careful to realize that it is the transference of the individualized lives, and not the transference of the forms which they occupy. The whole matter is psychic, and based on the unity of the anima mundi. It is only possible at those periods when two heavenly men are mutually finding each other under the law of attraction, and thus swinging into the magnetic radius of each other. Third, through a conscious passage of the initiate, through initiation, from one scheme to another. This is frequently done, and hints of it have been given by different writers and thinkers, though several have confused the globes of their own chain with the scheme of the same number, or have mistaken another chain within the scheme for another scheme. Fourth, the fourth method of transference of consciousness, and the bringing of the life units under the focal power of the Lord of the Ray, can be brought about through knowledge of certain mantrams and formulae. On this we may not enlarge, as these mantrams are esoteric, and the use of them is fraught with much danger to the uninitiated. The planetary logos of this scheme is called the first Chimera, the one initiator, and the statement is made that he came to this planet from Venus, Venus being the Earth's primary. This needs elucidation somewhat, though it may not be permitted to do more than convey a few hints as to the truth. The fact is one of the most mysterious in the development of our scheme, and in it lies hidden the secret of this world cycle. It is not easy to convey the truth, and words but seem to veil and cloak. Perhaps a hint may be given in pointing out that there is an analogy between the coming in of the ego in full sway and its taking hold at certain periods in the life of a human being. At 7 years we are told the ego takes hold, and again at adolescence. At 21 that hold may be made still firmer. Again, as lives are passed, the ego, in connection with the human being, grips its vehicles and so sways them to his purpose with more effect and fullness. The same procedure can be seen in relation to a heavenly man and his body of manifestation, a scheme. It must be remembered that every scheme has 7 chains. That each chain has 7 globes, making a totality of 49 globes. That each globe is again in turn occupied by the life of the logos during what we call 7 rounds, making literally 343 incarnations, or fresh impulses to manifest. We must add to these major manifestations such lesser ones as those named by us root races, and subraces, also branch races, and thus we are faced